You ever watch a movie where something really intense is supposedly happening to the characters, but it's just not clicking for you emotionally, and you're like, what's going on here? Did I miss the feel bus? Well, you may have just stumbled upon a melodrama. For context, drama in my system connects characters to deeper drives and inner conflicts. Drama bomb! So a character will make a choice of some sort, and the choice will be a result of that character's subconscious urges, which they have because whether it's stated in the story or not, that's how they learned to get their needs met. And the story is about the characters wrestling with the deeper ideas embedded inside them, learning and growing and ripping each other to shreds. Melodrama, on the other hand, is just about the characters. So with drama, you get stories about people navigating their unhealthy urges and philosophies in a web of subconscious symbology. But with melodrama, it's just, I like you because you're my friend. Oh no, Uncle Tim is in the hospital. I am so sad because I love Uncle Tim. I didn't like football until I started playing football and I realized that I liked it. See what I'm doing? All this stuff is happening in the lower levels. It's not connecting back up to here. Another example, person 1 and person 2 are attracted to each other. They just have chemistry. That is melodrama. But if person 1 challenges person 2 to overcome their maladaptive patterning and vice versa, and they learn and grow from the relationship on these deeper levels, or something like that, it actually becomes drama. I don't think melodrama is bad. Most of our relationships in real life are melodramatic most of the time. It's fine, but the difference is night and day. And once you learn to see it, you'll realize why a lot of stories don't scratch your brain in the way they should. Neil Marshall's The Descent is maybe my favorite horror movie ever. It's about a group of spoilers who get lost on a caving trip and have to survive deep underground. The protagonist of The Descent is named Sarah. At the beginning of the film, we see Sarah's husband and daughter perish in a tragic accident. Sarah's friend, Juno, wants to cheer her up, so she organizes a girls' trip to go spelunk in some caves. But Juno also wants to be a famous explorer person, so instead of taking the group to the well-known cave system they thought they were going to, Juno secretly brings them to an unmapped location in hopes of claiming it and becoming a famous explorer person. But there's a collapse and they become trapped underground. The girls learn that Juno went behind their back and changed the location, but now's not the time for infighting. They just need to figure out how to escape because no one's coming to save them. So they start scoping it out, trying to find a second opening, but then, get this, the next sentence is gonna knock your socks off. Some mole people show up and start killing the girls off one by one. The mole people can't see because they evolved to live in caves, so you just gotta tiptoe around them, but they're still very dangerous. They kill off most of the girls, and eventually it's down to just Sarah and Juno. Juno finds what appears to be the way out, discovered by explorers from hundreds of years ago, but then there's this big reveal that Juno actually had an affair with Sarah's husband, the guy who died at the beginning. So Sarah confronts Juno, puts an ice pick through her knee, and leaves her for dead. At the time of writing this, I watched The Descent 36 hours ago for probably the 10th time, and I legitimately had to look up the cast to remember Sarah's name. She's the main character. She lost her family. Look at her. She's going through it. Shauna McDonald acting her ass off. Big tears, emotions, craziness. I couldn't remember the character's name, but for some reason, I never had a problem remembering Juno. Juno, the supporting character, feels more three-dimensional and human than Sarah or any of the other girls. She's the one people remember. That's why she's on the thumbnail. And the reason for this, I think, is that she's an actual dramatic character. Juno's personal goals are the reason the whole plot happens. Her drive to succeed informs her choices, her arrogant personality, the way she manages her guilt. I can imagine what she would be like outside of this movie. I can picture this girl's daily routine. I know people like her. She's the class president. She spends a lot of time in the mirror. Unhealthy type 3, through and through. Sarah, on the other hand, doesn't have this. She only exists in relation to her dead family and to Juno. Juno has vertical depth. Juno's motivations actually relate to Juno. Sarah is just, I'm sad because my family died. I'm scared of the monsters. Wait, now I'm gonna fight the monsters. Oh, you betrayed me? I'm mad at you. It's all horizontal. Sarah is her context. It's the same reason the dead wife in a white dress trope doesn't hit very hard. Because you're telling me this character matters, but you haven't told me anything about them outside of their relationship to others. There's no core to inform their decisions. You know who I think the second most memorable character in The Descent is? It's this girl, Holly. And go figure, Holly is the only other character who has something resembling a dramatic core. It's not as strong as Juno's, but we learn that Holly tackles her problems head on, that she enjoys the intensity of it, but that this is ultimately what gets her wounded and killed. I can explain Holly without talking about the other characters. I can explain Juno without talking about the other characters. I cannot explain Sarah without talking about the other characters because Sarah is the other characters. And if the movie leaned into that a little more and gave her a follower complex and said, oh yeah, she needs to take control of her own life, that would be fine. But as it stands, the protagonist is the weakest part of this excellent movie. This is very common in horror, and I think I know why. To a lot of writers, life or death stakes are the highest you can get, survival. So if you're writing a survival story, why bother with all that deep character stuff? Because they're just going to be running from monsters anyway. But in doing this, you undercut the humanity of the characters, and ironically, what should be the most intense thing ever just doesn't land like it should. Preferably, the character's inner urges are the why of the situation, they inform the way the character manages the situation, and they inform the character's ultimate fate. Again, life is very melodramatic. You can't avoid having some level of melodrama. Juno has a foot in the dead husband subplot, but because we know who she is, it transcends the melodrama. We can connect the affair to Juno's ego. The drama gives the melodrama actual weight. Characters need to be individual first and relational second. If they're just relational, they will feel like empty shells, no matter how much you traumatize them. This video is sponsored by Cave Butter. Are you tired of getting trapped in collapsed caves? Look no further than Cave Butter. If you're in a cave, and you get stuck squeezing through a tunnel, a crevice, or some other orifice, simply apply Cave Butter and slip easily between the rocks. You can even pre-butter yourself before you go in for maximum subterranean lubrication. Cave Butter is a must-have for any funky spelunker. Buy it now for $11.95 at your local climbing store, you stupid freak. I know you want this Cave Butter.